more players, or just increasing number of players, or just
it doesn't matter.
Players.
See, it's 11 players against 11 players. Exposure matters in football. These players, all your national team players are playing in Europe. My players are playing in Europe as well. So this is the experience they've gathered across the world. They are playing in top leagues. It's not about star players. You can name the top 100 players in the world now, and you only get maybe 1 or 2 players from Argentina side. You can name top 100, and you get only 1, maybe 5 from the Brazilian side. There's also the Uruguayan side, but these players also export. So it's not about having the numbers of stars, it's about having numbers of quality on the pitch. And they have quality in the pitch yesterday, and you saw that on the game.
Why I like this Copa America is like a dogfight. Everybody is fighting. It's like a war.
Of course, that's how it should be. You know, countries come to this competition to kind of ascertain dominance, you know, to show themselves. That's why I say, like, every other month in the year when there's no competition, that's the building phase. At the end of that period, you come to a competition like the Copa America, and you want to get a scalp against some of these. Let's not forget that this is South America. Some of these beefs run riot. So, you know, countries that have been given 11-0, 9-0, they have a soft spot somewhere in the training room, somewhere in the back room. There is a soft spot somewhere. They're reminding them that we have a beef against Argentina. We need to settle this thing, you know. So they come into games. It adds an extra dimension to the games we play. When these players come in, they fight, they give it their all, and they get a result. And kudos to them for getting the result they did, though it had to go down to penalties. Of course, it shows you that the process is not yet complete. They need to improve the side going into the next competition.
The process for Argentina,
Bolivia, I'm talking about.
Ecuador. Now, see, the process is not yet complete. This is the starting point. It's not a process they've been building.
No, this is not the starting point. You can't call this the starting point.
Because they've been playing. They've been improving. They've been going forward. This is not the first time they are going to the quarterfinals. This is not the first time they are going into the semi-finals.
No, they are playing the world champions. You can't really fault them.
Come on now. Everybody is the world champions if it comes to that.
Please,
at some point, Brazil was the world champions, and people ended up knocking them out of the World Cup.
But they are the current. Let me use the word.
For you to say that this is the starting point, I beg to differ, because they've gone eons of years coming to this point, and they're at this point now where they can cruise comfortable in this zone. Okay?
I'll ask you a question.
And they need another 1 or 2 notches to level it up and go forward. I want to ask you a question, John. To win, yeah.
This current Ecuadorian side, name 2 players that were there in the last 2 editions of the Copa America. None, except for Valencia.
That doesn't mean that
maybe one other player, Felix Torres. Maybe Felix Torres.
Valencia there.
That's him. That's the only player I mentioned from the last 4 editions.
And I'm telling you,
from the last 3.
See,
now mention another.
How many of those people who were there two seasons ago,
you want to build, 2 competitions ago,
that are still playing? How many of them are still playing?
Many of them are still playing.
Many of them are not playing.
Many of them are still playing.
Let's get this right. Many of them are not playing.
From the top of my head, I could mention 6 of them that still play.
They are not playing in the big leagues in Europe. So what are you saying?
Is Valencia playing?
And you don't want to discount. You don't want to discount that record they put in. All the players that built them up to this place.
Valencia and
you don't want to discount that effort of people. You say this is a starting point. Come on, man, that's terrible.
It's a starting point because it's a new manager. It's a new manager.
Irrespective, for crying out loud.
It's a new set of crop of players.
Irrespective.
It's not irrespective. You need to know the people there.
It's irrespective because these guys are building on top something that has been set. They are building on top something that's already there's a work that's already been done.
John, who set it?
There's a work that's already been done in the national side, for crying out loud.
See, I'm saying this is the standard. It's a standard they are trying to build on. Now, maybe the person bought the land. You buy land and you left it empty for hundreds of years, and somebody come and start developing it. Doesn't mean you've started the work already. You didn't start any work.
He's not the first coach that's handled that country. He's not the first coach.
And you
can't tell me now that because he's coming and he's having the results he's have, that he is the only person that's coached that team.
I'm not saying he's the only person. I'm only saying he's getting the job done. For getting into the quarterfinals and taking Argentina to the knockout or to the penalty shootout. He's getting the job done. If they are played, let me tell you now, this is one thing that the European side need to learn from. The season has been tough. The players are tired. They are not robots. After the 90 minutes, going to penalty shootout, no need to play an extra, no need to take it to 120 minutes. But now look at
it that way.
If they are taking this match, if they are taking this, it's not that way because
these are still players. And
They
the
are-
season,
they are-
the season
if
is
they are,
also
if they are
about to
taking
start.
it, if they are
too.
taking it into penalty shoot, if they are taking it into extra times, I'm telling you that you saw the energy these people put in the 90th minute of the game, the Ecuadorian side, the energy they were putting in tells you that they would outrun Argentina in the 120 minutes.
I think if you look at this game, it was a 50-50 game. All the South American team somehow they have energy to run around. If you look at their result,
Yes, the Argentina did not.
yeah, that's what I'm just saying. Normally, other teams yesterday they didn't run, but if you look at Argentina works hard too. But yesterday they didn't click. I didn't know what happened, but they didn't click.
Let's
And
not forget that these are players that have played over 50-60 matches for club and also for country.
John.
And they are coming into a competition
John,
during summer when they should be on break
Ecuador
for
was
crying out
playing
loud.
50 games too. Everybody plays 50 games, so there's no excuses for that. But what I'm saying is that this Argentinian team now, they are still the favorites, whether we like it or not.
Of course, and rightfully they are.
Messi makes the first penalty in that shootout, but Martinez. Let's talk about Martinez.
Same with Ronaldo
I
for
think-
crying
I
out
think
loud.
If you're calling Martinez, be specific, because
Okay.
in that team there are like 4 Martinezes.
Emiliano Martinez
Emiliano, Lautaro,
Lautaro
and
Martinez.
Lisandro.
Lisandro
So
Martinez.
the savior for that game was Lisandro Martinez.
Emiliano Martinez saved 2 penalties. I think that let's talk about him for a little bit, because since he entered that team, I think for me is the guiding angel for Messi. Because if you look at the first Copa America they won, he saved a 2 penalty against Colombia, and they won that tournament. To the World Cup too, against
Same.
Netherlands
Same.
and against France, he was the star man there. Then today again, he saved 2 penalties. That guy has been fantastic. Do you think that he is the world's best coach, John?
Of course,
World best
he's won the
goalkeeper.
World Cup. He's won the World Cup, so he can tout that title if he wants. Okay, he's a fantastic goalkeeper. You come into any penalty, you see him between the sticks, and you know you are done for.
Now I think Argentina is probably trying to drag their game to penalties because come on,
They know
No,
somebody
they are
that the
not-
back. But I won't comment on that goalkeeping department, because you see him play in the Premier League. He's a player that reads the situation. Chris, there's something they say.
Sure.
He causes chaos before going to the sticks.
Let's not
Now,
forget the mind games.
Yesterday, he causes. That's why I say causes player chaos. He goes into the pitch. He looks at the Ecuadorian side. He comes into their middle, causes chaos, then go and say, "I'm ready for you."
So finally, Messi now. So is it that Messi, for me, I think he's not fully fit in this tournament. He has not actually given his best. I don't know, because since he's won the World Cup, he has this mentality of he's just relaxing. He's not playing for fun. There's
other
no
best
pressure.
do you want?
Who they play for?
What
who
other
they,
best do you want?
who they play MLS so they fully fit?
Why,
What
come on.
other best do you
Come
want
on,
again
no,
for
See,
crying out loud?
people call the MLS the relaxation league for some reason. I don't know why, but they call it the relaxation league. Zlatan went there and said these people don't watch football, so they just relax on the pitch, and players just relax on the pitch as well. So this is the MLS he's playing at. You don't expect him to have that intensity where he had in Europe, in America.
I think it's
not
because
like that.
he won everything in football. He's not really bothered again.
Let's not
Not
forget
really,
that this
not
is
really.
somebody who is in his mid-30s for crying out loud.
He's 37, not mid-30s.
yeah,
He's past
he's-
mid-30s now.
Forget about anyway, it's a matter of perspective. Let's say he's in his mid-30s for crying out loud. He's won everything he wants to win. He's playing in the MLS, and for crying out loud, he shouldn't be playing 90 minutes at this time,
Come
at this
on.
point
He
in time.
You see where this bias is
Do
coming
you
from.
get me?
You
So
see where
cut
this
the
bias
man
is
some
coming
slack,
from.
for
Now,
example.
cut the man some slacks. He does not deserve. He doesn't need to be playing. He's old enough. He's won everything. This is what everybody keeps saying. If you want to be the GOAT, at least there are some people that won 3 straight World Cup. 3 straight World Cup. But whenever they are called into the
This
pitch,
is the 60s. Nobody does that.
whenever they
Nobody
whenever
does
they
that
come,
now.
wait
And that's
now,
a wrong-
it's,
that's a wrong
let me
yardstick
finish.
to use.
Let me finish.
That's a
Whenever
wrong
they come to
yardstick.
the
That's when you play mid football from the defense. You shoot the ball and you enter. Everybody
there were no
go.
offside rules.
There are no offside rules.
So
Harry Kane
There are
scored
a lot of
4 of
regulations
those
that were
goals
not yet
from halfway line,
implemented
and there was
that
no
made those
offside.
things possible. So
Calm
don't
down
use
now.
that as
It's
a
the World
yardstick
Cup.
for
It's the
crying
World
out
Cup.
loud.
They won 3
No, I
straight World
disagree.
Cups.
You can't use
They
that
won
as a
3 straight.
yardstick.
They won 3 straight World Cups, and yet, whenever he comes to the pitch, he's always giving performance. He's always running around. He's always running to the back to create chances, dribbles around with teammates, and create chances and
Are
score.
you saying that
After
And now you're
everything,
telling me he's
after
36.
everything,
You should not
after
continue
everything.
this class. There's another person that they are saying in
let's
giving performance.
let's
Wait
say
now.
this thing.
Wait,
Let's
let me
say this
finish.
thing
Let me
fair.
finish.
Let him
There's
finish.
another person in Europe that is also winning everything. That has also won everything.
He has
Except
not
for
won
the
everything.
World
He has
Cup.
not won everything. Chacha.
Except for the World Cups. There's somebody in Europe that has won everything. Except for the World Cups. And yet, when he gives his performance and he maybe lose and he cry, everybody will criticize.
Okay,
Just say you're a Ronaldo fan. See,
guys.
I just want to say one thing on this before we move on. What Messi has played in his first 10 years in football in 30 years. Cut the man his slack for crying out loud.
Because there's this argument that's been going on, Ronaldo and Messi. I don't want to enter that. I think one day on this show, what we're going to talk about for the whole hour is Messi versus Ronaldo, and that day. But let's go to our YouTube. Remember, guys, we are live on YouTube now at Vote FM Sports on live at YouTube. You can join us there live and drop your comments. We'll be reading all your comments on the show. Emmanuel is saying, I think you guys are overrating this Argentine team.
Definitely.
You saw them early
I
this
disagree.
morning, depending on their goalkeeper. Yes, the truth is that nobody will play good football every single day for 100 games.
And you need to be able to win.
Name 2 good games they played in the World Cups.
Come on,
2. Give me 2 matches they played well in the World Cup.
This is personal, for crying out loud. This is
It's the
personal.
goalkeeper. See, it's the goalkeeper
Please,
saving them.
let's not go there. Let's not go there.
Emmanuel is spot on. Goalkeeper is top rated. I give him that. But the rest of the team overhyped.
Story for the gods. Please go
on. Wow. No, sir, I don't think they played a lovely football. If you want to compare the World Cup, Argentina actually played against Croatia.
Argentina won confidently and they deserve it.
Even against France, in the first 17 minutes against France. Let's not go into that topic. That against 17, they play one of the best football I've seen. But let's
against the Netherlands. They played well.
I'm talking about France now.
No, finals. You said the World Cups. I'm telling you the same games.
The finals. Okay, let's continue. You have a lot of comments. Emmanuel is also saying, not sure there is any national team building from scratch. There is always something they build on. All national teams' job is a contribution. Emmanuel is also saying, removing the extra time for Copa America is a perfect decision. Me, I think so. All this extra time. It started with the golden goal. If ever Nigeria at 1996 Olympics, so we scored that goal, everybody was rejoicing. But it was a heartbreak, so people had to remove it. Then they introduced 30-minute football. But now they started Copa America, they're removing the extra time. I think it's good for the players because
it's good and nobody is,
Okay, Bowe is saying at least we can now leave Cristiano Ronaldo alone for missing the penalty. They criticize. I think people criticize Cristiano Ronaldo because he was crying mid game. The game has not finished.
He thought he had lost the golden opportunity.
So you will not blame him. Emeka Idirin, he said, why should Messi not play 90 minutes? Stop being biased now. No, so Messi fans are here. Okay, Emmanuel is saying the constant comparison of Messi and Ronaldo most times reduces the glory of these guys have given to the game. They both remain 2 greatest players of the game. Ese Divine, sir, I totally disagree with you. I totally disagree with you,
There's a fight in the comment section.
Yes, I totally disagree with you, sir. Ronaldo and Messi are the 2 best players in the world, so they don't need comparisons at John. Okay, Chizoba is saying it's a good thing that Ronaldo missed that penalty. At least sports analysts can have something to argue about kudos to him. So both of them missed penalties, and now everybody has.
No, the topic is dead because when Ronaldo missed it, it was all in the media, headlines everywhere. Now last night on would not see.
Of course,
go to the media this morning. There's no story.
European media story
about Messi.
Let me tell you about the thing. I think the whole criticism was that Ronaldo was crying mid-game. The game have not ended. There's no reason for you to cry. Wait, John. There's no reason for you to cry. That's why everybody is measuring on. Not because that he missed a penalty. Everybody can miss a penalty.
Anybody can miss a penalty, but that's what I'm saying. That Ronaldo holds himself to a higher standard than the average footballer. And for him, for somebody that has a record of carrying his country on his back for tournaments upon tournaments, he felt like he had let the team down.
Yes, I understand
that could have been an opportunity that could have won them the game. So
yes, I understand that. So let's go away from Messi and Ronaldo and Copa America now. Now let's move to the Euros 2024 quarterfinal. The first quarterfinal games are going to be played today and tomorrow. But today by 5 p.m. is Spain versus Germany. That's the big. All the big games are now. We are now going to see bigger games in these Euros. Then by 8 o'clock is the big goal again. Portugal versus France. So let's talk about the first game. Spain versus Germany. These are the 2 teams that have played very well in this tournament. Spain has played very well in the first 3 games and in the quarterfinal and the round of 16. Germany also in the first 4 games they have played well. Now this is the match that everybody is anticipating. Everybody wants to look at. Okay. Now, John, let me start with you.
Yes.
What do you think that will happen in this game? Because I can't even predict what will happen in this game.
For me, if you look at this game categorically now, if you look at it with the empirical eyeglasses it requires, okay, you have to say that this is a game. Just allow me
Allow you
have
to
my
talk.
flowers, please.
You are looking at the
Okay?
game with Oyeko
Just allow me do my thing, okay? So this is the perfect game between the role model and the hybrid. The role model in this case is Spain. The hybrid is Germany, because Germany have understudied Spain's dominance in the previous World Cup and tournaments, and they've built a model that is similar but stays true to the identity of Germany. Now, this is a game that is going to be played in the midfield, whether you like it or not. If you look at that midfield, depending on the players they pick, we will know who is attacking and who is looking to defend. But then, let's not forget also that I've complained about Germany's firepower up. Okay, so I think Spain is going to edge this one out because they have players that can bring in the X factor, that can shift the little indices on the
Players
pitch.
like what?
They have players, for crying out loud.
About the young 16-year-old.
They have a Lamine Yamal. They have other potential players. Look at their bench. Look at their starting forward. Tell me that is not a midfield that can dismantle Germany any day, anytime.
No, sir, I know you have a contract. What do you think will happen in that
He
game?
said they have a this, they have a that, they have the that. He just mentioning players that are 17-year-old. You're not forgetting that in the 17-year-old in the top competitions, you're not forgetting that in the German side, they have fullbacks that could come to midfield and close up gap. Kimmich is there. Then there's the man that
who is Kimmich going to play when they run him riot in that pitch in 60 minutes? He will be out without legs.
Come again, say what?
Yes.
Come again, say what?
Yes.
Nico Williams is going to that position. Fine. We'll see how Nico is going to survive that position.
He's going to be flawless.
There's a Rudiger in that
He's
mix.
going to be flawless anyway you look at it, man.
In the past 4 years, you mentioned the top 5 defenders in Bundesliga and La Liga. You mentioned these 2 players. There's no way you won't mention Jonathan Tah in Bundesliga.
Obviously.
Definitely. There's no way you won't mention.
Man United winking.
There's no way you won't mention Rudiger. Now, these are 2 in Spain and in Germany. Now, you go back to the fullbacks. David Ron, fantastic player if you've seen him play. Now, in midfield, you say he's going to be one in midfield. There's a player that can spot spaces. We call him the chances creator, but doesn't get the accolades he deserves. Ika Gundogan. Now, this is the player that you know can spot empty spaces, run into them, and expect a pass to come and meet him there. This is a player that you know can be good on the ball and off the ball with his runs. And yet, you're telling me Spain will run them riots when you don't have someone to score goals. If you have a defender, if you have a striker that could score you goals, Rudiger will be the man to mark that striker out, and other people play their game. But this one now, we don't have striker that scores you goals. You need your midfielders to create chances and score for themselves.
In this game,
and now you have Toni Kroos.
Nobody to mark.
Now you have Toni Kroos, just one Tony that could give you 1 pass and 1 assist in a game. And before Spain will get their 70 passes and 1 goal, Tony is giving you 2 passes and 1 goal. Then Gundogan is giving you at least 5 passes and 1 goal. And you're expecting me to believe Spain is going to run them riots. Come on, Joe.
We shall see.
It's going to be a battle of young stars. Battle of young stars, John.
Sure.
Musiala versus
Obviously.
Yamal. So, and obviously,
let's not forget
too.
Nico Williams and a couple of other
These
players
young
in
players,
that side.
they have performed. The bigger stars have not even done well in this tournament. He's young player. So if you talk about this Musiala in this thing, do you think he's the danger man for he's talking about Kroos and Gundogan? But me, I see Musiala as the person to look out for.
1,000% if
you're not seeing Florin.
You're 1,000%. 1,000%.
You know why I like this game now. Spain is not the side that plays on counter attack. So we know Nico Williams has space to burn. He's faster than maybe Lamine Yamal. But in the German side, you have Kai Havertz, who is fast, can play on the break. You have Florian Wirtz, who can play on the break. And there's a Musiala who can dribble and play on the break as well. This is what Spain don't have. So you're telling me now that if Spain wants to start dribbling around and they get the ball and they lob it up front, somebody's not there to chase after
Yamal can
it.
dribble too.
That's what I'm saying. Yamal can dribble only. Nico Williams can run at you. But in the German side, you have 4 players that could hit you on the break, and you can't stop them.
Please don't limit the talent of Yamal. Have you seen that guy play? Have you seen Nico Williams play for Athletic Bilbao?
I see them play. That's what I'm telling you. They have dribble and see pace. If you want to dribble, you see in the Euros now, it has reduced the ball, and your team is suffering for it. You saw that with the likes of Belgium. You saw that in the likes of what's it called? This Georgia against Spain. Vicha wanted to dribble at some point, and it cost them. That was when they lost 4-1 or so. Now he couldn't create those chances from dribbling. Now it tells you that this is what will happen to the Spanish side. Yamal cannot hit on the break because the German side will sit very much in midfield and expect you to do all your wonders. And that's where it's not about, you're mentioning attacks. It's not about the attack. I don't give it to the attackers. I give it to the midfielders that create the chances. And the attackers that will come to midfield and join in creating the chances and hit on the break. That's where you get the work done. So you're looking at Musiala and Florian Wright. I'm even taking Kai Havertz off the equation.
In the last game, White didn't play. He played Sane. So it depends on who is wanting to. Which
means he wanted to hit on the break. And now he's going to do the same as well.
Okay, let's get your prediction for that game now. So who wins and what's your scoreline?
Germany 2-1. Straight up Germany 2-1.
Spain 2-0.
Spain 2-0.
Let's hope it happens.
Wow. Okay, guys. Remember, we are live on YouTube at Vote FM Sports. You can join us. Drop your comments. We'll be reading your comments here. We have a whole lot of comments here on who goes through in this first round of games. Emmanuel Okitibi say Germany goes through. Ese Divine is saying, like I said earlier, Germany goes through. Then later Portugal goes through. So it's giving it to Germany and Portugal. Emeka Edirin is saying, give it to Germany. So everybody is actually giving it Germany.
We shall see.
We shall see. It says Germany participate will be the best game of the tournament so far. Emeka is saying it's a game between Rodri and Toni Kroos. We didn't talk about these two players because these are the two senior players. Okitipi is German has a far better team. John, Joseph, or Dichi Mark. Good morning, guys. Okay. Or Spain versus Germany. I see Germany winning it. Everybody supporting Germany. What is happening? Everybody's against you, John. Everybody's against you.
They are going to regret it.
They are going to regret it. All right. Okitipi Emmanuel is Musiala, Wits are my danger men in that team. They have a man who anchors the entire team in Cruz. That's a divine Germany to win 3-1. Emeka Idiri says Germany to win 3-1. John, everybody's against it. I would love to see what happens in this team because
that's why I'm saying that I'm going to drink premium tears tomorrow.
If John prediction if John wins this prediction tomorrow, it's John versus everybody, including our fans, everybody, including us and our fans.
They should just give me a trophy tomorrow if I'm right.
See, it gets to tell you, this match this night, I will not go home. I'm not going home because I want to sit with John and I don't want to be looking at the screen to see who makes the pass. I want to be looking at his face when he's crying.
Premium tears.
I just want to be looking at his face. While they are playing the game, while he's watching the game, I just want to sit beside him and look at him while he's crying.
Premium tears. Get ready.
Okay, guys, we are going to open the phone lines now. You can call us in and tell us your own prediction. The numbers to call is 0706 048 5853. 0706 048 5853. Call us in and tell us your own prediction about this game, and we are going to be. Tell us your own prediction. Everybody's giving it to Germany. I don't know, probably because they are the host nation. So they are giving it to Germany. We are going to go on a quick break now. When we come back, we'll talk about the other big games. The other side, in quotes, the second goat, or people prefer him as the goat plays, or a goat, or the goat.
There are only goats. There are many goats.
Okay, let's not.
There are many goats.
There is the goat.
I know this. See, one day we're going to talk about this goat thing.
There is no D.
There is a D.
Okay, we'll come back on the break. We'll talk about Portugal game by 8 o'clock.
Stay plugged into the flow. Follow Volt FM on Facebook at Volt 1043 FM. Let's vibe together.
Volt 104.3 FM.
Okay, guys, welcome back to the show. It's still Volt FM Sports. Remember, we are live on YouTube now on Volt FM Sports on YouTube at Volt FM Sports. You can join us there and see and drop your own comments and even watch us, guys, when we discuss this thing. You can see even their reaction. You can watch and see our reaction, the way they are reacting. It remains for me they begin fight. one day I go allow them make they fight this fight. So let's go to the next game. Is the big one. Okay, we have our first caller. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Name and location, please.
Victor from Emene.
Okay, Kizito from MN. What's your own contribution?
You take this time for Germany because I take this time for Germany. I think the statistics.
Sorry, can you speak up, please? Can you speak up?
The Spain started being Spain.
Okay.
I've never won against the Muslim team.
Okay.
Then competition and I will be through this season.
Okay. So what's your prediction for the game?
I say 3-0 for Ghana.
3-0 for Germany. Okay. Thank you.
2 from Musiala, 1 from Sani.
2 from Musiala, 1 from
Sane.
Sane.
Okay.
Which means he's coming into the second half
We
to
shall
score a goal.
see.
Thank you very much. Now, John, everybody is against you.
And I don't mind
See,
that.
wait,
Wait,
he said
no, so-
something.
I don't
He said
mind that,
something.
you know.
So wait, I know
More
you said
premium
something.
tiers for me
I
to
understand what you
see
said. You said
tomorrow.
that Spain have not won against you. It's fine. But John, but my own is that John is the only one that predicted that Spain will win. I'm curious to see if John is good because if you win tomorrow, I'll leave this mic for you. We'll leave this studio for you. Only you will do this show. We will just put your YouTube.
More premium tiers for me
You and
to
John,
drink.
so you can just finish John. Okay, guys, let's move to the next game. The next game is another big one. Is people call it the apprentice versus the master.
Sure.
Depending on how you want to see it.
Mentor versus the
It's
maestro.
Portugal versus France. Okay, let me start with you, John. No, so he's shaking his. Let's start with you, John. That game, just review that game for me. What do you think that will happen in that game? Do you think that the master? So because remember, Ronaldo have not scored a goal. He missed a penalty. He started crying and all that. It became a topic around the whole world. Now, Mbappe has scored only 1 goal, and it was a penalty kick. So, tell us what do you think that will happen in that game? Generally?
It's going to be a hard-fought one, basically because there's not going to be any stopgaps. There's just going to be an all-out war for victory from both sides. And if you ask me, I'm going to see France coming out on top in this one.
So why do you think that France will come out of it? Because both of them have probably an equal score. You know, so they have big players playing here, big players playing here. So who do you think that will come up on top? Ronaldo's team or Mbappe's team?
I don't know who to come out on top because in the 2016 Euro 2016, we had a very tough fight. That was where we saw the best midfield for France, where you had the Matuidi, Pogba, and
Sure.
Kante.
And Kante.
Now, see, I have not seen a better midfield trio than that. Creativity and workhorses. These people have it.
Two creative
Players, and the other. When you have one creative whole player and you have one other half creative player and 2 workhorses, and you have 3 workhorses in a team. I've never seen a team that could beat that. When you talk about the defensive and workhorses are Matuidi and Kante, then Pogba is just the creative one. Yet Matuidi can join in creativity. Now, he didn't win Portugal in that final. From a guy that almost had the same story as Cristiano Ronaldo, where he said he's not seen his father for a long time, come into that game and score the winning goal either. We've not heard of. After that competition, he went to one big club. After there, nobody has heard of him again. And I think that's what is going to happen. France has the knack to play Portugal. If you look at their head-to-head, France has been winning Portugal in group stages, friendly matches, and all of that. But when it comes to knockout stages of game, Portugal has a way of knocking them out. And they have to go back to the drawing board and check why are they always losing in knockout stages against Portugal and winning every other game against them.
Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please.
I'm calling from here. Good one, guys. Good one, Papa.
Good morning.
Good morning.
So what's your own contribution on these 2 games?
My contribution that is I will need to Portugal because of Ronaldo and Fernandez.
Okay, you are a Manchester United fan.
Sentiment.
He said Fernandes.
Okay,
Yes.
All right, thank you very much.
Spain versus Germany.
I'll give Spain.
Thank
You
you.
are the first caller and the first person that
Thank
is
you.
actually supporting Spain. Oh, thank you for your contribution.
Thank you.
Okay, now so you are saying about that game.
I'm saying it's a 50-50 game. They need to start looking at who.
You are hedging your bets, right?
No,
you don't want to.
it's not. I'm
believing.
I'm believing Portugal to go through. Now I'm saying it. Now I'm stating the obvious. Now Portugal to go through. But
hold that thought. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Name and location, please.
This is Victor from Emene. I cut it off.
Oh, Victor. Okay.
Okay. based on Portugal match and France, I think the result should be decided in penalty.
Wow.
Penalties. Okay, who
That's
do you think
tough.
will win
Tough.
after the penalty?
I don't really know, but I think the gravy should go to France.
Okay, you should go to France. He's supporting France.
Thank
Okay,
you.
Thank you. Okay, John, continue.
Now, see, like I
mean,
said,
also-
like
also
it's
continue.
50-50 game, but every time they meet, they win Portugal. Group stages, look at the what's called National League, Euro National League. They won Portugal in the group stages, but Portugal went on to win that competition against Netherlands. And at some point, Netherlands won one of those editions. Now look at it. If they continue to play against Portugal in a good group stage match and win, why can't they win in knockout stages? Because Portugal has an effect of playing in the finals or perhaps playing. So I think this one now is going to, if they don't learn their lesson from the past, they will continue to lose against Portugal in knockout stages. And this is one of those games that they'll have to set an example and not win against Portugal. But I'm not seeing that happen anytime soon because they've been testing experiments and their
John,
players are not playing well.
Mbappe versus Ronaldo. Who do you
Mbappe
think
comes out on top.
who you think Mbappe will going to be a star? Because he has
Sure.
not really played well. I'm even surprised that he has not even played well throughout this tournament.
You know, the last time we saw.
I think one thing.
Before you say give your own contribution about that, he came out and said that he had to adapt to the team because when Pogba was there, he could make blind runs and Pogba will find him.
Sure.
But now nobody is finding him, so he needs to now drop in and create.
Sure.
Do you think that the coach need to change something for him, or they should keep playing what they are playing?
See, when you have a star player like Kylian Mbappe in your side, you need to look at the best way to utilize him, the best way to bring out his potentials, the best way to build a team that maximizes. Because let's not forget that there is something called the 80-20 principle. So Mbappe is that
John,
20% that brings the
John, hold
80.
your thought. Let's take this call. Hello, good morning. Good morning. Name and location, please. Okay. Please, what's your contribution? Okay, Spain and Germany. Okay, go ahead.
Thank you.
Spain will give Jao. Okay, two. Okay, what about France versus Portugal? Mbappe.
Thank you.
So France will win this one. Thank you very much for your contribution. Okay, he is giving it to Spain and France. Okay, John, you are saying something. Continue.
Yes, so you have to look at ways to maximize the Mbappe threat because let's not forget about it. We are talking about a phenomenal player here. So they need to think about it, whether it's putting Griezmann behind him, putting who else they need to put in the structure to make sure that they bring out the best of him, and then play a formation where service goes to him. Basically.
Okay, we are having a whole lot of comments on this particular game on our YouTube channel. Remember, you can join us live on the studio on YouTube. Our YouTube is at Volt FM Sports. Okay, we're having a lot of comments. Wealth is saying, please, there is nothing like the goat. There is a goat and there is a woo. I don't know who is the goat here.
There is a goat. The goat.
Well, tell me who is the goat and who is the EU. I know probably you are referring Messi and Ronaldo. Please drop your comment and tell us who is this goat and who is the EU, so we'll know who you are talking about. What is saying again? Portugal versus France is a tough one, but I give it to Portugal. Emmanuel Okitipi, he said France had a far better midfield. France had a far better midfield than that. They have Vieira, Makalele, and Zin. He was referring
No,
to
that
when you
is
say,
he's referring to the 2004,
but he
2006
was
World
telling,
Cup
no,
team.
I know you said that.
Yeah,
this
I
is one of the
said this is
best.
one of the best.
Yes, but he's saying that
They have a
which is
better
true.
one. They had a better one. But in my generation, the ones when I don't get sense, now I talk.
For your generation.
When I don't get sense, now I talk. If I was a bit maybe 10 years older, I'll perhaps speak the likes of people before.
I saw Vieira,
No.
I saw Makalele, and I saw.
You saw them in their 20s.
saw
I didn't see them in
Zidane.
I saw them in their 30s.
Okay, when they were already. Okay,
I only saw
okay.
Zidane, yes. I saw Zidane once or twice, but
Okay,
not
I
Makalele
know
and
one Yabu for.
not Makalele and
Within life, I know one can Yabu for all the Gen Z people. Okay, but no problem. No, when we are arguing football, we will argue with 1990, but
I still have the ideas of 90s.
Don't worry,
please.
don't worry.
I still have the ideas. The
Okay.
19 World Cup, Brazil World Cup.
Ese Divine is saying France has not really played a good football since the start of the competition. which is true. What is saying Spain versus France is a tight one. Spain has a flair attack, while German has the midfield, but I'll give it to Spain to go through, but it is tight. Emmanuel Okitipi is saying France will win for me. They have an extra edge with the energy and Nkante in the midfield. Okay, before I continue the comments, let's take another call. Hello, good morning. Please turn down the volume of on your radio set, please. Sorry, what's your name? Okay, Jerry from Enugu. What's your contribution, Jerry? Okay, rating their chances. Okay, what's your score line for that? Win. Okay, what about? Okay, you want penalty? Okay, what's your contribution at Spain versus Germany? Okay. Okay, thank you, Jerry, for your contribution. Okay, Jerry has made his own contribution. So let me continue with the comments on our Facebook, on our YouTube channel. Okay, to be saying France will win for me. They have an extra edge with energy and Kante in the midfield. So Kante is always that extra. Gives it that extra because Kante can run. That guy can run for 90 minutes without losing energy. Emmanuel is also saying Griezmann is likely playing from the midfield today because of the suspension in the midfield. That is talking about Rabiot. Rabiot is suspended for this game. So hopefully Muani starts also. So that's all their contribution for this game. So let's get your score line. Tell me, John, what is your score line? Just tell me specific score line.
Spain 2-0 winning Germany.
We're talking about France versus
Portugal.
Yes.
France 2-1.
Nonso?
I said it before. Germany 2-1. You can't stop Spain from scoring goals. Then you have what's it called?
Portugal versus
France. It go hard though, but it's just 1-0. Since the two teams have learned to score one goal and just quit, so it's just one goal still. After one goal, anybody that gets it, but I believe Portugal will get it. After that one goal, it's over.
So do you think Ronaldo or Mbappe, who scores in that game? Or do you think both of them will score or one player to score?
I said one goal, just 1-0. He's saying 2-0,
okay,
1-0.
Who scores? Do you think Ronaldo will score in this game or Mbappe? Who do you think that will score in these two guys?
Don't put me on that spot, please.
Just tell us, who do you think?
None of them are getting on the score sheet. No.
John, what do you think?
I think Ronaldo will get on the score sheet.
Ronaldo will get on the score sheet. Okay, guys, that's the end of the Euros. Remember, the game today is 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. We have another match for quarterfinal match tomorrow. We're going to be analyzing that live here in the studio. So let's talk about a bit of transfers because a whole lot of transfers have been happening. Some clubs have been making moves, especially Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich has almost concluded the deal for Olise. He's going to have him medicals this weekend or probably next week to finalize that move. They have been making moves since they brought in company. They brought in an Asian defender. They are trying to bring in Tar. Now they are bringing Olise. Then they brought in Hurricane last year. Do you think that this Bayern Munich team they are making progress? If you look at it,
for me, away from bringing in all these players, this is what we love to see in the game of football. We love to see clubs that have done their homework before the season ended. They are not in the market running around trying to get a last minute buy. They've already started their homework well on time, and kudos to them. Could look at the quality of players they've signed. Let's not forget Palhinha is coming in. We have Olise coming in. We have Tar possibly coming in. We have a lot of other players coming in. Fantastic. Kudos to the backroom staff. Kudos to the management. Good signings all around, if you ask me. And I'm excited to see how they play come next season. But one club that is not as efficient as these guys is sitting on the red side of Manchester.
Let's not talk about Manchester, please. So what do you think about this Olise moving?
Out of pity for Man United fans.
They wanted to sign Olise, but it didn't actually work out.
For me, it doesn't make sense him going to Manchester United.
Olise on the Man United shortlist is just a way of generating funds. Whenever the media wants to overhype a player, they say he's linked to Man United, and you pay over for him. Now, and Man United at some point take debate of fall into the trap of their own making, because they are a big side, and when they want to go for that player in particular, they end up overpaying for that player. You saw the likes of Anthony, Maguire, and the rest of them coming to Man
Just
United
to
for.
call your attention now, let's not forget that a certain last season there was a club in London. Let's not go there, but they are the blue side of London. They call themselves, and what
The
do they
Blues.
call them now? The Blues. Now they were jumping on every player that every other club in London was linked to, even when the club wasn't really interested, and they were buying players well over the amount they should have
And spent
paid.
over 1.2 billion.
1.2
in one
billion
transfer
on
window.
players, and you end up with like 35 players, and you're asking yourself, what do we have
35
here? Like,
or 12.
12
12 players, overpaying for all the 12 players.
They
I'm talking
spent-
about the big squad
spent
side they had.
over $1 billion.
That's what I'm saying. $1.2 billion, 1.2 billion pounds,
So-
and yet they are finishing
To finish
seventh.
just by redemption or just by Pochettino's magical.
And I like what John said. I like team or clubs that plan ahead of time. Before the
As
summer,
in-
they know the coach they are going to bring. They have their short list. Now they are bringing all sorts of players. See Olise, I think that Olise, imagine Olise, Sane, Musiala, Tar, Harry Kane, they want to wrestle that league back from Bayern Munich next season. They really want to do that, so they are not even playing. So let's talk about a little bit of transfer. He was a superstar. He was young. When he wanted to leave Liverpool, club told him, stay here, I will make you a star. But somehow he moved to Barcelona and it did not work out for him. He moved from Barcelona to Bayern Munich and dealt with Barcelona and came back. Barcelona sold him back to Aston Villa. Now he has no club, but he's now moving back to Brazil on loan. Vasco Dima is trying. Pastor De Gama is trying to buy Coutinho. We are talking about Coutinho.
Yeah.
He has the word in his palm. The club told him to stay, but he didn't stay. And he left.
For me, if you ask me, it's a good move moving to Barcelona. But let's not get into Coutinho. Let's get into the fact that the number 10 role across Europe has been decimated in the past 2 seasons. Okay, you see players like James Rodriguez, you see players like Phil Coutinho, you see a couple of other players who play in that 10 role that are losing the identity of that spot in the midfield. Why? Because
I think it's
clubs
only De Bruyne that is only number 10.
It's the only number 10 that is still
Foden is what?
that is only bossing it in Europe right now.
Let's continue.
David Silva is what?
Let's continue with, please. Let's continue with
Please.
Coutinho.
Wait, I'm still getting to
David
numbers.
Silva
Bruno
of
Fernandes is
where?
what? John McGinn of Aston Villa is what?
Let me explain these two things for you now. So
I'm calling players
You are
that are
well
number
off.
10.
You are well off. You are well off for crying
No,
out
he
loud.
said number 10 role is
Okay, what
dying
Sure,
down. I'm just
sure.
mentioning the players that still play that
1000%.
position and play.
Wait,
I still mentioned that position,
Wait.
players that
Also,
play in
I want
that
to
position
explain, I
and
want
play
to explain
well.
something now. You know, there is a difference between number 8 and number 10.
Sure.
When we are growing up, we see as number 10 as players they don't really score goals. They create chances. The Fabregas, the Zinedine Zidane, but they moved it to when they call now number 10, they're talking about Fernandes, talking about De Bruyne. I not really even call those players number 10 because most of them they are like a second striker. The midfielders that are playing for a second striker. But if you look at the players like Coutinho, these players are from that generation where we talk about attacking midfield where they are. That's what I'm saying. I understand where you are coming on from, but this thing has changed over time.
I mentioned list of attacking midfielders for you, and you're telling me those players should not be on the list.
Come on, man.
Okay,
shouldn't be on the list
let's talk about
at
Coutinho
all.
now. No, so Coutinho, how do you see his career as? I think he just retire and probably go and find money somewhere. He's trying to resurrect his career, but I don't think it's working out for him since then.
Definitely not, because when he left Barcelona, he went to He went to Bayern Munich on loan, and from there he scored goals against Barcelona. And Barcelona said, "We don't want you back," because the way he celebrated those goals, you know the Barca fans know how they can get now. The way he celebrated those goals, like it meant the world to him. Like I needed this goal to rejuvenate my career. Now he's moved to Aston Villa from Bayern Munich. Look at the trajectory. Come on, I would say even Ross Barkley had a better trajectory than he did. And these are all attacking midfielders. He moved up and
Please don't mention Barkley in the
speed.
same conversation with
With
Coutinho.
speed.
That's like
I'm not talking about the intelligence, I'm
That's
talking about the
terrible.
trajectory. These are attacking midfielders with speed. he dropped,
He dropped.
as so it's like telling you the bigger they are, the higher, the greater they fall, something. So that bigger you are falling, the falling was just too massive.
Okay, guys, we have a big news coming out from Nigeria. Lily has agreed to a deal for a player from Nigeria, especially from Nigeria. He is playing for Beyond Limit Academy. Lily is buying him straight from this academy. So how do you see this deal? Because his name is
Adesina Ibrahim, fantastic player. If you've seen him play, the last what's it called, round of knockout stages they played in Enugu here. You know, I told John, let's go, and he was like, no, I need go. Let me see how you did. Then I went there. I saw these people play. I think it was a game against Nasarawa United.
Nasarawa United, yes.
I saw him play, and I'm like, this guy should not. In my mind, I was like, he should not be playing in the MPFL, because if Beyond Limit had gotten promotion, he will come back and start struggling with the team in the MPFL, and we know they are not going to win the MPFL. So I was like, he shouldn't be playing the MPFL. They should be shipping, and this is what clubs of that level do. They bring a player in, they train the player for 1 year, 2 years, or perhaps 18 months, and they're looking for foreign agents to come and pick up the player. And most of these Nigerians are always going for softer leagues so they can grow from there. You see them go to France, go to Belgium, and from there they come into the Premier League and so on and so forth.
I think it's a good move for us.
Now for him, it's
Sure.
a very great
Time I
move.
heard that
Sure.
that particular move is when Asemika brought Kolo from Access Mugusa from Ivory Coast. He brought him straight from there to
No, it tells you this is what you need to be doing. Don't wait until he goes around Europe before you bring him. And when you bring him in, he's already 25. When you are seeing a 21-year-old kid, a 19-year-old kid from an academy project in Nigeria, take him straight to the big leagues. Don't take him to Cyprus League 7 or German League 4. This player has done fantastic. You see the way he touches the ball around the midfield. He goes on attack and he's doing fantastic. He scores goals. One of his goals in the Super 8 was one of the best goals I saw in the Super 8 so far. But yet, you ask yourself, if he comes to the MPFL, what will he be doing there?
Okay.
For me, it's a good move for the MPFL. I only hope that I only hope that they didn't take maybe £2,000 or £3,000 for him.
Even if it's free,
It's an undisclosed fee. And
we know.
You know, because let's not forget that we have talents and we're exporting talents, and we need to make sure that the team is living, get something of value. Okay, so for me, if I was the club president, I'll be adding a clause or two in the contract, basically.
Okay, Lily is also bought Mbappe's younger brother Etienne Mbappe. He moved from PSG to Lille. So Lille are making good moves in this tournament. Then Finidi, before we read our comments from our YouTube, Finidi have moved to a Nigerian club. Now he's going to be coaching a Nigerian club.
Rivers United.
So he is going to start with Rivers United next season. So do you think that he's going to, because heartbreak for him for Nigeria, what Nigeria did to him, or the Nigeria Football Association
Nigeria did to him. Come on, he resigned for crying out loud.
He resigned because, come on, look at what they did to him.
The disrespect was just too much.
It was too much. Now
you have to just leave it.
He's going to Rivers. What do you think? Do you think he can take Rivers to a good height?
I just hope he chose a project that has the backing he needs. I know Rivers have been clamoring for some silverware for a couple of seasons, and I hope they give him the backing he needs, and that he has some leverage in the setup that he's going to be coaching, to be able to bring in the players he needs to deliver the results that they are looking for.
Did you see him at Eyimba? If you have seen him at Eyimba, you will know for sure that this man is what is going to give Rivers United the best chance of going back into Europe, because
it's not about him giving Rivers United the best backing. It's about Rivers United backing the man, because that's where the problem has always been.
We said the same thing about Fidelis Lechuku when he went from Plateau United to MFM to Enugu and all of that. We said if he doesn't get the right backing, he won't get results. If he doesn't get the financial backing he needs on the pitch, he won't get results. And we saw what happened to him at MFM. He didn't get enough financial backing. He took MFM to second place. At Eyimba, I think if he had stayed, he'd probably win this league. But he left and said, let me take a national team job out of respect for his teammates that he played national team with, because many of them advocated for him to take the job. And the NFF wanted to play politics with him, and he doesn't want to have that. Because in the team, you saw when the way he introduced home-based players, gradually, before you know what was happening, 6 players already on the list from nowhere. And it was supposed to be all foreign-based, maybe just 1 or 2 home-based player. But before you know what was happening, 6 players were there, and NFF wanted to bully him to dropping that list, and I think he had to resign and let them bring in their foreign tactical advisor and continue from there.
That's what they called it. Okay, we are having whole lot of comments about transfers on our YouTube channel. So I'm going to read some of these transfers before we go. Okay, Jerry is saying PSG and Chelsea have shown us that football is not about signing star players, but how the players understand themselves and the coach's instruction. He's talking about where the PSG have now moved from signing big stars.
It's yet to pay off though.
They are not paid up, not yet. They are not paid because they won the Champions League. They have not even gotten the Champions League. SC is saying, Vincent Company want to turn Bayern Munich into something else. We might not see too much German players in that lineup. They are buying a whole lot for the first time. They are buying a whole lot of people outside Germany. Yeah, outside Germany. Okay, Emmanuel. Okay, TP say it's not just about buying. Can Vincent Company manage these stars? Which is the truth. No, buying bigger stars. For example, if you buy Olise, now you have 3 stars. Now all of them must play somehow. Do you understand? Which big becomes a problem for the coach sometimes. So let's continue with our comments. Okay, I said the is saying, John, it was a bad move at that time to move to Barcelona. He would have stayed 1 more season at Liverpool. He's talking about Coutinho. Okay, TP Emmanuel is saying at Esse. Okay, it's playing Esse. If you want to go considering what Barca we are willing to pay and the money he will get at that time, because Barca actually offered him bigger money than Liverpool. So Esse Debaya replied at Iman, I totally understand this. This is why Ronaldo and Messi are on a different level. They don't play for they didn't play for money. No go there. These people were collecting money. Ronaldo and Messi
Did you see Ronaldo's first contract at Real Madrid?
They were still collecting money as at that time too. Wealth, he said, the name you called are playing the modern 8. He's talking about this creative midfielder now. They are playing modern 8. We don't have the traditional term like the instant Ronaldo and rest of it, which is the truth. Jerry is saying Finidi should just remain in Nigeria MPFL because I don't think he will perform better outside MPFL because take it or leave it. It's MPFL clubs that are very bad, like 18 points, 18 away games from the winner. So thank you all for the comments we have here on. It's at Volt FM Sports. We have a basic amazing content there. You can go there. Please like, subscribe, please, and like our show. Even share our channel. So thank you for joining us on today's show. My name is Godwin. Thank you guys for all your contributions.
Pleasure.
Have a lovely day. I hope to see you guys tomorrow. Cheers.
Volt 104.3 FM, where music meets the voltage.
Take a break and enjoy the show.
Sports.
Entertainment. News and politics.
Enugu State governor has sentenced the
Gospel.
and let them have dominion. The kingdom of God is within people.
Good morning.
Odenibu.
Awesome programs exclusively on
Volt 104.3 FM.